Om Sadashivasamarampham Shankaracharya Asmadacharyaparyantam Vande Guru Paramparam. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Saha Viryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Okay. So we finished the first canto, I think. Second book, first canto, we finished. Okay. Any questions, clarification, or anything to ask? Or yeah, Rohit.
So it was said that about Brahman that it is Angushta Matra.
Sorry, you have to speak up a little bit louder.
Yeah, it was said that the Brahman is said to be as Angushta Matra, like
Yeah.
Satyutam. Why is it said like that? Like it could have been said anything, right? Like small is the smallest when it's said.
No, just because of making it a focal point of meditation. The core. I am there at the core in my heart. So that way.
Of this size.
Yeah, that's all. Don't take it. There is no other meaning, no other implication, nothing. Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, I examined 2-3 bhashyas. There's nothing to indicate anything else. Now, some English writers, I kept on adding things. That's all imaginative things, you know. Yeah. Traditionally, there is nothing. Okay.
Swamiji.
Yeah.
Swamiji, this is Aditya here.
Yeah.
I have a very tangent question. Maybe we can discuss it later, but just want to ask. All these avatars, or maybe the devatas like Yama, or probably Indra. I believe if he is giving the knowledge of this, then they are already, moksha is already attained by them, right? If they have attained the moksha, again they are trapped into some functional thing like what Yama is.
Yeah.
Can you help the differentiation, or is it meant for just for stories to understand? Can you?
Good question. Two ways of looking at it. Like for example, near Uttarkashi, there is a Nachiketa Parvata where the Upanishad was supposed to have been given out. Then you have to say it's a glorification, Arthavada, to highlight the importance of that. Or let us look at the question of Devatas. All the Devatas reach their various position in this Kalpa. Kalpa is 4 yugas. Okay? In this Kalpa, on the basis of their karma, their meditation, their tapas. Okay? Now, when you and I go to heaven, we will not have freedom of choice. It's only a bhoga bhumi for us. Okay? You only have to sort of enjoy what is there, and after that, tata, goodbye, come back. But remember, these are karma devatas. They are devatas who are there to perform a particular function. So they are held accountable, held responsible. If that is the case, then freedom of choice is there. If freedom of choice is there, self-awareness is there, you can gain knowledge as well. So there are plenty of places in the Upanishads where the devatas gain knowledge from Brahmaji, from Ishvara, etc. So all these people gain knowledge after they are already got that position. So now that position for them is prarabdha karma. Like how? You gain knowledge in this lifetime. Your body is still going to continue, no? The prarabdha will continue. Only here you have a choice of taking sannyasa. There is no choice of taking sannyasa. Yeah. Because here is a role is picked up and no role is permanent, can be given up. Even role of husband wife can be given up. Now we find so many people giving it up. Parent, once the child is adult, is over, finished. Educated, into a good job, etc., your role of parent is over. At the most, you can be friend, philosopher, guide, nothing more than that. Parent is over, done with. Yeah. You are a functionary in an office. As long as you are there, once you leave that job, role is over, finito. There, that role stands for the whole kalpa. So the prarabdha is there for the whole kalpa. There can be wise people. If you are doing Yama's job, you better be wise. It's not an easy job to do. Okay. Yeah. You know, people look at all these movies, animal, etc., and think killing is an easy job. The first time you kill somebody, it changes you forever. Deliberately or accidentally, it changes you forever. Take it from me. If you can't deal with it, it will haunt you all your life. If you are a normal, sensitive human being. If you are a psychopath, that is different. Okay. If you are a psychopath, that is different. But if you are a normal human being, it will haunt you all your life. Unless you have learned to deal with that. Therefore, anyone who is doing Yama's job better be a wise person. Even if you are a devata, it will haunt you. Yeah. Even if you are a devata, it will haunt you. So as a wise person, Indra, at one level, is playing a role, king of heavens. Another level is a wise person. He got the knowledge from Uma Haimavati. Uma was the teacher. We will see that in Kenopanishad. So like this, many devatas gain this knowledge. Indra, Varuna, Agni, all of them have gained the knowledge. When you are looking at them purely as devatas, okay, yeah, functionaries. Now, of course, for this there is one assumption. We have to accept the Veda Pramana that multiple dimensions exist. Yeah. There are different dimensions. Yeah. Trimurti also, they are looked upon more like aspects. But at the same time, there is Brahmaloka, Vaikuntha, etc. Therefore, the idea is Brahmaloka is looked upon as all the three. Vaikuntha and Kailasa, Shivaloka. Brahmaloka, all this is one and the same. The Satyaloka is another way of looking at it, the highest heaven. So the things exist. Dimensions, because they are dimensions. No? They are not a place within our time and space. It's not with our time and space. We are living in a three-dimensional world. Yeah. So there it is more. Multiple dimensions come into the picture. Time frame is different, space is different, everything is different. Yeah. Bodies are different. More energy bodies than physical bodies. Yeah. In fact, yeah, prayers travel across dimension, that is true. Yeah. It's something like this. Someone from a higher dimension can come into a lower dimension. The lower dimension cannot go into a higher dimension or understand a higher dimension. Can't even understand. Yeah. So there are some stories, etc. They all will be stories. If you go to another dimension after death, not studying Vedanta enough, you go to another dimension after death, you will say this is not exactly like how it is described. Correct? It will not be exactly like how it was described. Because you are describing in three-dimensional language. There was a mystic who used to contact souls of people who had died. And he contacted the Archbishop of Canterbury. That's the Church of England. And he was the most dissatisfied person in heaven. Why? It is nothing like what the Bible said it was. I mean, heaven all right, but nothing like what the Bible said. No? Yeah. Yeah. So you get the idea, it is never the same. Because all descriptions are from our world, our standpoint. Yeah. Never be the same. But dimensions exist. Yeah. We all have been there at some time and come back here on earth. Before we are born here, we were in some dimension or the other. No? It is not that after death immediate rebirth happens. Some time gap is there. Yeah. So, that time gap is another dimension. Yeah. So, that's how the whole thing is. Okay. Yeah. So, the devatas like Yama, etc., are wise person on the same thing. Yeah. Now, in part 2, yeah, any question? Shoot.
Sorry.
Yeah, yeah.
So, Swamiji, last time I had asked a question about the fact that mind objectifies time and space, and you had suggested that means the mind is not conditioned by time and space. But isn't, where I'm getting confused is, isn't it a necessity for something to be within time and space for it to be limited?
Nope. See, the mind is conditioned by its thinking, its ideas. Mind is not conditioned by time and space. As you see, time is a product of the mind. So, mind is not conditioned by time and space, but mind is conditioned by its ideas and its notions. Okay. And the physical limitation of your bodies. Because of the basis of that, you make a lot of conclusions about yourself. The mind is not limited to this body, really speaking. You can expand the mind outside the body very easily. But since the identification of the body is so strong, the mind limits itself to this body. So, like this, a lot of self-judgments come up, even at the level of the mind. Background, education, culture. Yeah. Cultural conditioning can be very strong. Religious conditionings can be stronger. I mean, why does the terrorist come up? Because of religious conditionings. He overcomes or negates the humanness in him because of his religious conditioning. Pathetic, but it's happening. Yeah. Our people won't touch onion and garlic, but will throw stones at every dog. I mean, if the dog is coming to attack you and you are defending yourself, I can understand that. Yeah. That's understandable. Yeah. I told you of that guy I saw in Chennai, no? Typical Tambram, doesn't eat onion, garlic, nothing with namam and all. He comes in that auto to that shop, 4 pegs straight, gets into goes off. Won't touch onion and garlic. Typical Tambram. And the funny thing is, in the Veda, what is said is kalanjam na bakshayet. Now, kalanjam is interpreted as meat or as contaminated food. Contaminated means spoiled food. What is the contamination in food? No, onion and garlic are contamination. Then you will have to look into Ayurveda, which talks about that discipline, and it doesn't look upon it as contamination. So, kalanjanna bakshit, suram na pibet, very clear cut instruction is there. Don't drink alcohol. But you'll ignore a direct statement and go into other conditionings that you have culturally picked up against onion and garlic. Can you see the conditioning now? Sheer conditioning.
Yes.
Yeah.
But where I'm getting really stuck, Swamiji, if you can please help me, is that if the time and space are concepts of the mind, then am I not down the slippery slope of subjective idealism then?
In a way, yes. But time and space also has an objective reality.
Okay.
There is an objective reality. even though our experience of time and space is purely subjective. There is an objective reality to time.
Okay.
Yeah. That's why it's not subjective realism. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. That is what the Kshanika Vijnanavadin follows. The Bauddha follows that. Yeah. Yeah.
Sure. Thank you, sir.
Not at all. Any other questions? Shoot. Because these are questions that will help you clarify your ideas. So, if you have a doubt, don't hesitate. Yeah. But the mind conditioning, predominantly your ideas, pet notions, refusal to see beyond logic, to see things logically, to see that certain things are articles of faith. Yeah. How did Rama look like? Some paintings are there, some descriptions are there. But can you say, huh?
N.T. Ramarao.
N.T. Ramarao, onwards to Arun Govil. Yeah, you don't know how he looked like. Certain descriptions are there, but the descriptions are not about facial features. Ajana, Bahu, etc. So that is, So, certain things are articles of faith, is okay. How do you like to conceive of him? Yeah. 39 kings existed before Rama.
Swamiji, why Rama? Even how Shankara looked, we don't know.
Exactly, you are not sure how Shankara looked. At least Shankara looked, there are some paintings available. No? In Kanchi and all, if you go to the Acharyas, there's some paintings are available. Because
That was done by Raja Ravivarma.
no, even earlier paintings are there. There are earlier paintings, so some sort of this you can understand. Even Vyasa, there is some sort of descriptions available. Vyasa is shown as a very noble man. He was actually quite ugly in the description. Mahabharata, yeah, is quite not a handsome person. He's not a handsome person. Short, squat, yeah, yeah, short, squat, jatadhari, bearded, etc. So when Amba's maid was sent to him, you know what she does first? She tells Vyasa, I am not scared of you, I am not terrified by your appearance. You are like that because there is nobody to help you with these things. So let me oil your hair. She gives him a manicure, a pedicure. I am not joking, he does that. There are descriptions of that. Because he must have been quite a wild figure, roaming all over the Himalayas and things like that, in the cold, barefooted, or just with some kadavs on, some leather footwear on, homemade leather. What type of person do you expect him to be? Well groomed? You should see me after 1 month trek in the Himalayas. Jatadhari, etc. How do you expect him to look? So some descriptions like that are available. Okay. Yeah. Nothing is sure. Yes, certain things you take as articles of faith and things like that. Okay, this is what we think it was. You want to conceive him differently? Conceive him differently. Okay, all right. Based on the description, you can think about a bit. Otherwise, what do you have? It's all conceptualization. And it can go to ridiculous extents also. Like I heard one person saying, he was there on the YouTube channels, Earth does not rotate. Why? We have heard that Jannat, heaven, is right above Makkah. So if Earth rotates, Mecca's position will change. Heaven will not be right over Mecca. So how can Earth rotate? Science is telling him earth is rotating, but he doesn't want to accept it. He should just accept heaven is also rotating. Na? हो गया काम ना? No. So can you see where it becomes a conditioning, that is, you are completely unwilling to consider any other alternative. That's called conditioning. Yeah. When you refuse any other logical possibilities, or it disturbs you to think differently, you feel uncomfortable. Like, supposing you go for a camp, and I tell people after reaching there, throughout the camp no coffee will be available, only tea. Some people will be disturbed by that. Why? Because they are conditioned to that coffee. Yeah. Some people won't be, even though they are coffee drinkers. Why? They are not conditioned by it. They prefer coffee, that's all. So one is a preference, one is a conditioning. That's why I said after we land up there, because if it is before landing up there, people will carry their Nescafes with them, bottles with them. I knew one Gujarati lady who used to take those masala tea packets, instant tea packets, and she would take a cup of tea and put that into it. So that will become nice and strong and this thing. I won't mention who. Some of you know her. So, some conditionings like these are harmless. Okay, some can be harmful. So the harmful ones we break. Harmless ones is okay. Chalo, chalta hai. Yeah. So now the Upanishad says, Shankara introducing it says, because Brahman is difficult to understand, to know, Yama is explaining it again differently, using various other examples, etc. He is explaining the whole thing again. All right. Puram ekadashadvaram ajasya vakrachetasah anushtaya na shochati vimuktasya vimukchate etadvaitat. This is what he had asked about. Okay, what is that? Ekadasha Dwaram Puram. In a city where there are 11 gates, human body, okay, the human body in the 11 gates, Ajasya Avakra Chetasaha. Avakra Chetasaha. Without any modification, okay, without any change. The consciousness is present there. In this 11-gated, 9-gated city, the consciousness is present. Okay. He says, Anushtaya. Anushtaya. Anushtaya meaning what? What Anushtanam are you going to do with respect to the Atma? Shravana Manana Nididhyasanam. That is Anushtanam. The primary sadhana in Vedanta is Shravanam. In fact, Shravana Manana Nidhyasana is taken as primary sadhana. Karma Yoga, etc. secondary sadhana. So, Shravanam. Why? Because knowledge will happen when a pramana is used, and the pramana is used in Shravanam, in the teaching. Therefore, Shravanam. Mananam, to negate all doubts, clarify yourself. So what we did in the first few minutes of this class was Mananam. Doubts and etc. were answered. So Mananam. And the last, Nididhyasanam. Contemplate on it. In Vedanta, you deliberately make a difference between Upasana, Dhyanam, etc. and Nididhyasanam. Okay? Because they affect The range of upasana or dhyanam is huge. Why? Saguna Brahmani Vishaye Manasa Vyapara is dhyanam. With respect to Saguna Brahman, any purely mental activity is called dhyanam, including your Manasa Puja, Japa, etc., including quietening the mind, etc. That has come in from yoga. Quiet mind, transcending the mind, all that has come from yoga. Quieten your mind, stillness, etc. All that is yoga practice. Okay. Yeah. So that is dhyanam. That all comes under dhyanam. Even Patanjali calls it like that, no? Dharana and dhyanam, he calls it. Practice. Samadhi is when it happens, when it's successful. Dhyanam it is. Nididhyasanam is contemplation. It is not always about a quiet mind or a thoughtless state. You first quieten your mind and then you introduce the teaching without its elaborateness. Without the elaborateness of the whole thing, you introduce Shuddham Brahma, okay, pure, free from hurt, guilt, pain, this, that, nothing other than that. You introduce those thinking into it so that you remain with that knowledge. What you learned in Shravanam, you recall it without the elaborateness, without the stories, etc., without the examples and logic and this thing, just the essence of it, you recall in Nididhyasana. This is Anushtanam. This is the Rasgulla becoming, the Gulla becoming Rasgulla, okay. You are immersing yourself in the knowledge. Always remember, Nididhyasanam is Rasgulla. If you remember the connection, you will understand what it is without confusing with this and and all the stuff that goes around. Okay. Immerse, it's an immersive thing. You are immersing in the knowledge. So that knowledge will permeate your mind. It will always be available for you. This is the Anushtanam. So for Anushtaya, na shochati, no more grief. Which grief? The existential grief we talked about in the Gita right in the beginning. Arjuna talks about that existential grief. The grief that comes not because of something bad happening. The fact that I am a finite entity, I am not happy with. That vague dissatisfaction all of us have with life, even if life is going great guns. Previously, for want of success, I was unhappy. Now, in spite of success, I am unhappy. That one, that grief, that unhappiness, that existential thing that is there, that existential angst, which all of us felt very strongly when we were teenagers. Then what happened? It got buried under the responsibilities of life. It's like saying, what happened to the love that you had? Buried under the pots and pans of the kitchen. Yeah, ऐसे ही होता है. So it got buried under that. Okay, it comes up once in a way. And what do you do that time? Typical, distract yourself. Some movie, some music, some that thing. Distraction. That's all. Nobody suddenly thinks, why am I feeling like that? If they did that, they would really become very committed students of Vedanta. Therefore, na shochati, anushtaya na shochati. And he says, vimuktasya vimuchyate. The one who is already free becomes free. Meaning, you discover that you are never bound. Yeah. You are already vimuktaha, free from your sense of limitation. Didn't know that. I mistook myself to be a limited entity. Therefore, I had to rediscover myself. As what? Free. Never bound. Never limited. Yeah. That's all. Vimuktasya vimuchyate. Sometimes I take this to mean vimuktaha vimuchyate. On death, this is what happens. Yeah. So you can take it as Jivan Mukti Avastha. Shankara puts both options in it. Jivan Mukti Avastha, Vimuktasya Vimuchyate. You are living but you are free, not bound by anything. Yeah. Or he says, once you are already free, on dying, you don't become bound, you are freed again. It means you don't come back to samsara. No travel for you, no another birth for you. Where are you going to go? You are everywhere anyway. You are limitless awareness. Where are you not there? You are there everywhere. If you are there everywhere, where are you going to go to? Yeah. Where are you going to go? There is nowhere to go. You remain as pure consciousness. Yeah. You are pure consciousness itself. Yeah. That's all that remains. Yeah. Therefore, vimuktasya vimachyate. All right. Etad vaitad. This is what you had asked about. Then here, just to avoid a possible misinterpretation. By the time you come to this level, that misinterpretation is difficult, but a possible misinterpretation, if in case it's there, that is limited, that consciousness is limited to this body. Okay? He is talking about the totality now in the next verse. Next verse jumps to the totality. Hugumsassuchirshadvasurantaraikshaha dhota vidvishau vedishu vedashad atirtirtha duronasad nrishad durasad ritasad dvayau saha dabjaha gojaha ritajaha adrijaha ritam brahat. Each is a name, okay? Now it's a name. Hamsaha. Okay. Hamsaha is the mover, the one who moves. Hamsa actually he has various meanings. Soham Hamsaha. Hamsa also stands for Ishvara. Okay. If you read all these modern English books, you say Hamsa is that mythological bird that can separate milk and water. It is an implication of one who knows the truth. That's why sannyasis are very often called Hamsa or Paramahamsa. Hamsa sannyasis are those who still carry the danda about. Paramahamsa sannyasis are people like us who have given up the danda in the Ganga. We all have a danda when we take sannyasa, okay? So when the danda is also given up in the Ganga, it is called Paramahamsa, meaning nothing left for you. Yeah. Otherwise the danda becomes an object of worship for you. Because other worship is not there, no homa, no this thing, etc. Meditation, contemplation is there for you, of course. Japa, dhyanam, etc. is there. But if you need a bit more in terms of upasana, etc., the danda is invoked as Ishvara. That's why it's interesting to see Dandi Swamis travelling alone in a aircraft, in the airport. Why? First of all, the captain can object to your danda. Okay? If you are objecting to a long, big umbrella, can they not object to your danda? It's a weapon. Yeah. They can object to. But in India, most captains don't object. Okay? But there have been cases when captains have objected to it. Okay, all right. Now you're carrying this danda and going. In the aircraft, no problems. You can keep it by the side of you in your seat or on the overhead docker, whatever. What about when you come out and you want to go to the loo in the airport? Will you take a linga into the toilet? It's funny, okay? These type of funny things exist because society has changed so much. Society has changed so much in the years that has come. From the time the literal rules of sannyasa were, yes. Therefore, literal rules are no more applicable now because situations have changed. So you have to use the spirit of it and get into it. Okay. Therefore, Hamsaha. Okay. So the mover, Surya Devata. Surya is also called Hamsa. By implication, Ishvara. By implication, Ishvara, Hamsaha. Okay. Suchisat. Suchisat meaning that which exists as all pureness. Suchihi, pure, clean. Pureness means what? There is nothing to contaminate it, pure consciousness. Okay. Sad, to live. Suchi, pure. Sad, to live. Okay. That means what? The one that is manifest in the sun as Ishvara. Because in those days, sun was the first symbol of worship. You were invoked Ishvara through the Surya. Therefore, the one who is manifest as the Surya, Ishvara himself, Hamsaha, Suchisad. Then Vasuhu. Vasu is air. Okay. So the one who is manifest as Vayu. Antariksha Sat, the one who dwells in the Antariksha, between heaven and earth, your space actually, Antariksha. Okay. Hota. Hota meaning the Vedic fire is called Hota. Okay. Hota. The one who is manifest as the Hota. Vedisat, the one that resides in the Vedi. Okay. Vedi is what? Your Homakunda. That is called the Vedi. Okay, the Homakunda. The one who is manifest there as Ishvara, because Ishvara is invoked in the Vedi. Who else is invoked? Vedisat. Okay. Atihi, sun. Atihi, sun means the one who is the main offering, Somaha. Duronasad, the one who is there in the Duronaha, where all the offerings are kept, the pot in which all the offerings are kept. Narasad, that which is manifest as human beings. Varasad, the one who is manifest as the heavenly beings, meaning the worshipper and the worshipped. One is manifest as that. Ritasat, the one who is manifest as the truth, Ritam. Vyomasat, the one who is manifest as the Vyoma. Abjaha, one who is manifest in water, born in water, born as the water. Or it can be any water body, water beings living in water, fishes, etc. also. Okay. Gojaha, that which is born on earth. So this will become all your plant life. All your plant life. Okay. Adrijaha, that which is born from the mountains. What is born from the mountains? Rivers, etc. Okay. Rivers, etc. Okay. That means what? Ritam Brahad. He is Ritam, the reality, the truth. Okay. The cosmic order is presented as Ritam. He is the Ritam. Okay. He is the Ritam. Okay. Okay. And Brihad, the limitless. That means what? He has named all the heavenly bodies, all the natural things. Therefore, all this is born as Brahman itself. Brahman itself is manifest. So, Brahman is manifest in the body. Brahman is manifest as the world. Brahman is a worshipper, Brahman is a worshipped. Brahman is the eater, one who eats food. Brahman is manifest as the food. What is manifest? Plant life, as I said. So what is it? All there is Brahman alone. So all these names and forms are nothing but Brahman. From the word Ritam, we will get two meanings. Ritam can mean the reality, yes, definitely. Ritam also means the order of things. Like karma, karma phala, ritam. You have done karma, you will get karma phala. No choice. Ritam. So, the cosmic order, Ishvara's order, is also called Ritam. In other words, Ritam stands for the reality as well as the cosmic order. The cosmic order is Ritam. That means what? Look at the two verses. The first verse, he talked about Ishvara being manifest as I. Correct? Brahman manifest as I. The reality manifest as I. And the second verse, reality manifest as everything. That means what? One reality. That's it. One reality. And that's how you have to understand it. The reality behind me, the I, the reality behind the understanding of I, the reality behind my notions of I is the same reality behind this whole creation. That's it. This is your contemplation. This is part of the contemplation. It's part of the teaching, and the same teaching becomes contemplation. No? To say I am consciousness is halfway. That consciousness on the basis of everything, that is what makes it complete. Yeah, that basis for everything, that should be clear. Only then it is complete. The understanding is complete, the meditation is also complete only then. Sakshi, etc. are halfway houses. To meditate, I am the Sakshi, the witness of everything. That's all halfway house. It's not complete. Yeah. And it has to go all the way. All the way. If it doesn't go all the way, it will become only verbal. Okay, be careful of this. Because you will hear bhajans, you will hear this, all sounding as though there is a lot of wisdom in it. But you are seeing the wisdom because you know some Vedanta. Otherwise, you won't see the wisdom there. And probably the singer did not have the wisdom also. All singers are not wise people. Some are, not all. Sadashiva Brahmendra, etc. Yeah, but not all. Otherwise, it will be like this. Ikkade undu Panduranga, akkade undadi. I'm sure everyone can follow, even though you don't know Telugu. Ikkade, here. Undu is Panduranga. Panduranga is here. And the same Panduranga is there in Pandharpur. Okay. Akkade undu Panduranga. Panduranga is there. And that same Panduranga is here. Akkade undu Panduranga, ikkade undadi. If you had stopped at this, it is perfect. Ikkade undu Panduranga, akkade undadi. Akkade undu Panduranga, ikkade undadi. Perfect. Then next line becomes a downfall. Potama, Potama, Pandharpuru, Potama. Let's go, let us go, let's all go to Pandharpur. Are? Please go to Pandharpur if you want to. I have also been there last year. Last year or a little before that. Okay. I went to Sholapur and there was time for my train, so I said, let me go to Pandharpur and catch the same train from there. Kar diya. Nice. I am not saying no to that, but understand. Yeah. Can't keep it like this. It has to go all the way. All the way. That the reality behind my notions of I is the same reality behind the whole world. There is only one reality, finished. And that is what I am, that conscious. Etadvaita, this is what you had asked for. Anyatra dharman, etc. This is it. It's like this guy saying, you want the truth? Can you handle the truth? People say, you want the truth. Can you handle it? Few good men. Can you handle the truth? But this is it. बेटा पूछा तो सही अभी ये ले इधर यही है. That is why Yama made sure he is ready for the truth. Okay. Rama made sure that Nachiketa is ready for the truth. नहीं तो गड़बड़ हो सकता है. Things can go haywire. Yeah. Okay. Then going further, he says, now the fact to understand Ishvara as everything or Brahman as everything is not really too much of a problem. The main thing becomes the fact that I am independent of the body and mind. That I am that consciousness which is independent of the body and mind, and the body and mind is dependent on the consciousness. If this much is clear, the next step is easy. Most people get stuck right here only. Why? Somewhere in our thinking, we have come to accept something that, oh, Ishvara is everything. We are not really clear, but some sort of. The problem is I. Like someone who studied for some time with me, a yoga teacher who studied for some time with me, had a health issue, health scare. Said, Swamiji, because I studied from you, na, I didn't panic or anything. I said, good. Acha. It's good, you didn't panic, that's a good thing. Because she had gone abroad and they discovered this health problem there, and she had to fly back alone and take care of the treatment here. So you didn't panic, good. That's a good thing. But is that what Vedanta is about? That you don't panic? Or is there more to it? Not to panic, you don't need Vedanta. No? Do you think you need Vedanta not to panic? You think all the soldiers who rush into battle have studied Vedanta? They don't panic. Yeah, I don't panic. Yeah. So, but it's nice that thoda kuch andar gaya hai. But I was worried and tense. I didn't panic, but I was worried. Why? Because the idea I am the body is very strong. Are you worried and anxious when you send the car to the garage? Yes, Swamiji, it's a new one. That means your identification is extending to the car. That's all it means. Yeah. But this body you use for 30, 40, 50, 60 years, no? तो क्या है? अभी थोड़ा इधर उधर रिपेयर वर्क तो करना पड़ता है ना. Some repair work here and there we have to do, na. Yeah. So natural होता है. Some bodies have been used more than other bodies, so wear and tear can be more, like mine, for example. Yeah. But because I have been doing good maintenance work, it is functioning well. Touch wood. Yeah. But the idea I am the body, etc., is so caught up now, it's difficult. Yeah. I am the body, I am the mind. And part of it is your comfort orientation. Never get tired seeing this. saying this. The more civilized we become, the more developed we become, the more comfort oriented we become. That's why we are losing our natural hardiness that we had. We are a hardy race. Human beings are quite hardy people, but we have become too soft. That hardiness is not there. Like Monday, Tuesday, went for a program in Aurangabad. I said, Swamiji, come early, take the first flight and come. First flight is at 5:30 in the morning. I have to be at the airport up to at 4 o'clock. Take the first flight and come. We will take you to Ellora and come back. I said, okay, fine, acha hi hai. Getting a chance to see Ellora, I'll go. So went early. I'm finding people are struggling climbing up and down. Yeah, there is a lot of climbing up and down. Nobody says no to that. But 40-year-olds, 50-year-olds struggling, abhi ye kya baat hai? So the program was supposed to start post last. I came back, I said, told them, be careful that you don't eat a heavy lunch. I don't want you all sleeping in my session. Eat a heavy lunch, all of you are more tired than normal. Have a quick wash, come for lunch. Do not eat a heavy lunch. Otherwise you will go to sleep there only. Why? Hardness is gone. Why? If hardness is not there, body identification is more. Not that if you go to the gym, body identification will be less. There will be a different type of identification. Because gym people are also not hardy people. Care a damn what happens to the body, they can't take it. No. This muscle has to be like this only. I have worked hard for it. A farmer is hardy. Cold, rain, wind, he has to plow the land, he has to plow it, fine. There's hardiness there. That because of that, and this is not a new, in today's world the problem is worse, that's all. Olden days also there was this problem. So from the next verse onwards, few verses, he is focusing on the fact how the I is independent of the body and mind. He is using your experiences to show how the I is independent of body and mind. Important part. Because when that is done, when that is done, it's easier to understand I am that limitless consciousness. And when you understand I am limitless consciousness, I am consciousness at least, the next step, I am limitless, is easier. Therefore, all of you are hearing me, or am I frozen on your screen?
Swamiji, you're frozen. Beach mein we can hear you, but otherwise it's not very clear.
Okay. That is because the connection is telling me it is 8 o'clock. Okay. Okay, that means the connection is poor and the 8 o'clock. So time to stop. We will see the details next class. Okay. Om Tat Sat.